All right, you guys hanging in there? You guys still having fun?
Yeah.
All right, this next comic, your closer for tonight, I'm very excited for.
Yeah.
Good friend of mine. He's helped me a lot in the local industry. Keep it going for Joseph Rogers, everybody.
Thank you, Brock. Give it up for your host, Brock, tonight, everybody. He did a wonderful job hosting this show. All right, all your comedians were funny tonight. I like that. You guys are good. A little bit about myself. I'm going to try to do my clean set tonight.
What?
Yeah. So, but I've been doing comedy for 7 years now, and I have the reputation as the guy that looks like Jesus telling dick jokes, so this could get interesting. Clean jokes. So I grew up in Tacoma, which means that for a little bit there I thought I was black. Man, I had that shit down, man. I had that shit down. I was wearing the right clothes, the shoes. I had to walk down and everything, man. I bought a FUBU shirt and everything. I had no idea what it meant in real life, you know. But so yeah, but there was this time where I realized I wasn't black. I was on 54th Street in South Tacoma Way by the 7-Eleven. That was my spot that I was repping, right? And these group of black guys come up to me and they're like, "Hey, nice shirt." And I was like, "Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, what's up? You know, and he's like, "No, that means give me your fucking shirt." And this is the moment I knew I wasn't black. I was like, "Here you go. You can have the shirt." But it was funny because I always felt like my black friends, they took me on as one of their own, you know? But I never fully felt like 100% I was in unless I can say the word. You know what I mean? So I was like, one day I pumped myself up. I was like, I'm gonna do it. Today's gonna be the day I'm gonna do it. So I went up to him and I was like, "What's up, my new friends?" Damn it, I can't do it. I can't do it. I hope I made you guys' heart skip and be like, "Oh shit, he's gonna do it. He's gonna say it." Fuck, I couldn't do it. Still can't do it today. I mean, we were repping Twista, Brother Lynch, Puff Daddy. Fuck, man. We were getting it on. Growing up in Tacoma, and then I moved out to Bremerton. So we went from little gangster crackheads to little tweakers that steal shit. Gotta love Bremerton. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, my mom, she married this guy when I was 6, who's my stepdad, and he had a son who was a year younger than me. Okay, now let me tell you a little something about my younger brother, okay? He's not related to me, but just through marriage, right? And he was dumber than rocks. Okay, one time he climbed a tree and got his foot stuck in the wedge of the tree, the V of the tree. Had to get the fire department out and everything, man. And there was another time a couple years later where he took a teddy bear's eyeball off and got it stuck up his nose. Had to take him to the hospital and get that shit out. And I kid you not, he will take one of his pairs of shoes and he will sit down on his ass and put it in between his feet and fucking play with the laces for like hours. Like a teenage boy. Like, who the fuck does that? This kid was so dumb, right? But then there was one day I was going through my parents' cabinet in the kitchen and shit, and I found a film canister filled with mercury. And I was like, what the fuck is this? You know, I was like 12, 13 years old. I pour it in my hand, and I'm playing with it. I was like, oh shit, man, mercury's fucking cool, man. I played with it for like 2 days. Took it to school, had it in my pocket and shit, just pull it out, show all my friends, right? And my brother, one day, he came up to me, he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Dude, I don't know what this is, man, but this is fucking awesome. Here, you play with it." He's like, "I ain't touching that shit." I looked back on life and I was like, damn, that was like the smartest thing he's ever done. Because I'll tell you what, man, that mercury fucked me up. I was like 12, right? This is what happened. So I go to bed at night and I look at this white wall and I see a red rectangle. And it's beating, and it's getting bigger, and it's beating at the same pace as my heart, okay? And then it gets really fucking loud, and it gets really big, and then I start hearing all of the noises that I heard in the last like day and a half or 2 days, all being played back at once. So we're talking like arcades, we're talking about my name over and over again, everything I heard on the TV, everything was being played back at once. Sensory overload. I could hear the seconds clock in the living room ticking over and over again. I went out into the living room and the walls were breathing in and out like whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was like, what the fuck, right? And when this was happening, I was like 12 or 13. I had no idea it was because of the mercury, right? So So I go to school and I talk to my school counselor and I tell him what's going on, right? And you know what he said? He goes, "You're probably just going through puberty, boy." I was like, damn. And it kind of made sense because I started growing some hair down there, right? But I was like, puberty's intense, man. That shit's crazy. And then I took a chemistry class in high school, right? And they showed this instructional video of like all the things to do, you know? And one of them was if you spill mercury. And they brought in this guy with a special spun in a hazmat suit. I was like, oh shit, you need all that just to fucking pick that shit up? That's great. I was playing with it in my hand, you know? Still didn't think anything of it. It wasn't until my mid-20s I was reading the Maxim magazine, all the side effects of drugs, and they listed one of the side effects of mercury poisoning. And it said fucking exactly what happened to me, and I was like, oh shit, it wasn't puberty. Fucking mercury poisoning, man. So I went up to my chemistry teacher, like later I went back to the high school and I was like, hey, do you think I'm gonna like live to be old? And they're like, probably not. The mercury is probably in the bottom of your spine and eventually it's gonna kill you. And I was like, damn, that sucks, man. I'm sorry, that was a long way to go for a mercury joke. So. Interesting. In high school, man, my luck was so bad with women, even if it was raining pussies, I would still get a cock right in my mouth. Every fucking time it seemed like, man. I was so naive too, right? Like, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get white sheets so that way you can see everything but the cum stains. Who thinks that? I was so naive, man. I dated this girl one time and we had to like hide our sex because we both were living with our parents. And so we went out into the woods and she's like, you ready to go? You ready to do this? I was like, fuck yeah, I'm ready to do this. And it's all cold outside, right? I didn't take that in consideration. And I fucking go limp and I can't perform. And I didn't even think about it. I was just like, well, I guess we're not doing it. I didn't think to go downtown, start munching on her pussy until I got hard. I wish I would have known that because she broke up with me the next day. I was like, fuck, I can perform, I swear to God, let's get a warm room. Yeah, and then the next girl I dated, I went to her house, we were getting on her bed, you know, we're drinking, having a good time. I'm thinking, this is gonna be it. I'm finally gonna get it in, right? And I spilled my drink all over her bed. She's like, oh no, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then I was like, it's okay, I'll just rip off the sheet. And I rip off the sheet, there's a big red stain on her mattress. And I was so naive, I was like, holy fuck, did you roll over on a cat and kill that shit? She broke up with me the next day. I was like, fuck, man. So I went to a friend, I was like, man, I gotta know, like, I need some advice. What do women want? And this lady friend of mine, she goes, Joe, women want men who aren't afraid of commitment. So you know what I did? I started stalking this bitch, right? I don't know if you guys know this, but stalking takes commitment, man. You gotta follow them around wherever they go. 6 hours at the beauty supply store? Like, what the fuck? We spend 6 hours at the mall, 2 hours getting their nails done and shit. We're talking about an 8-hour plus shift, and I don't even know if you know I exist yet. Like, that shit takes commitment. I'll tell you what, though, I was stalking back in the old days, right? Stalking now is different. There is no more stalking back in the old days, right? Facebook ruined that for us, okay? For example, Facebook tells you when your friends are near you now. Yeah, so then when I'm near my friends trying to stalk them, it's like, Joseph Rogers is near you. Like, oh, thanks, Facebook. It even gives them the fucking distance, right? Like, Joseph Rogers is a quarter mile away from you. Like, holy shit. Fuck Facebook, you might as well be like, Joseph Rogers likes the way you watch a movie like no one's watching you. Like, fuck. But here's the thing, ladies. There's a couple of you out there. There's one right there. There's one right there. One right there. One right there. All right, we got almost more ladies than men, man. Fuck yeah. So here's the thing, ladies. There's nothing more unattractive than a private profile on Facebook.
Oh my God.
Nothing more attractive. I love that public profile, ladies. I want to Facebook stalk you and go all the way down your fucking timeline. I want to watch all those selfies you post and just watch you get younger. Like, scrolling down your timeline. You know, and then you get to your high school graduation photos and you're just like, holy shit, should I stop masturbating now? Like,
Oh my God.
public profiles, man, they're fucking hot. I'll tell you what, ladies. I'm not sure if you heard, but school shootings is now the #2 school-related deaths in our country. Yeah, don't worry, student loans is still #1. You know, I hate, okay, so here's the thing, right? I'm gonna talk about this. I hate this time of the month, last week of the month. You know, I know women have their week of the month, and I just want to say that I have so much respect for women because that's essentially like a quarter of their life that they have to put up with that bullshit, and men don't. So that's not fair, first of all. But men do slightly have their week of the month. Not all men, but specifically me, the last week of the month is always my time. And that's when my EBT food card is always depleted. Like, always. Like, even if I'm good, I can only just make that shit stretch for 3 weeks. Right? Because when my EBT food card gets low, I get grumpy, man. Because now I'm just eating top ramen and hot dogs the whole time, you know? And then when I run out completely, I start doing weird shit like go to Carl's Jr. and try that shit for the first time. Oh my God, that shit is disgusting. Oh, and you know you're broke when you fucking take 2 bites of the Carl's Jr. and you already have 2 burgers on board as well. And you're like, fuck, I am too broke to stop eating this shit. You're fucking eating the tomato and it's all nasty texture and you're just like, oh, this is bad. I'm not even throwing the tomato out. Oh, fucking hate being broke. Being broke is tough, man. I tell you what, when you're broke like me, one of the first things that goes is car insurance. Like, get that fucking shit out of here, right? And this is the reason why, because I'll tell you what, I am a way better driver with no car insurance. Like, for sure, the record shows it too. I come to complete stops every fucking stop. I don't run red lights. I stop at yellow. I fucking don't road rage on anybody. I follow all the rules. I do the speed limit. I do not want to get pulled over and get that $550 ticket. Not only that, but I do not want to hit anybody and be fully responsible for their vehicle because the shit people are driving nowadays, you just fucking run into their bumper gently and it's total and you're fucked. I do not want to, so I'm driving careful. Because when I tell you, I know it's true, I had 2 accidents in my time. Both times I had car insurance and both times I just rear-ended the fuck out of people. Like, I didn't give a fuck, totally my fault, being aggressive, because when I got insurance, I'm looking to road rage with somebody. I will fucking race you and cut you off. Especially if it's a chick, man. I love road raging with chicks, man. They're the best, especially when they're riding my ass, because I'm like, oh yeah? You like that? You want to get up in there? Yeah, fucking do that shit, right? It's different when a chick road rages on you, because then it starts becoming a little sexual, you know? When it's a dude, you're just like, oh yeah, we're going to master whose dick is bigger on the car. But when a chick does, I forgot where I was going with the chick doing it. Sorry. For some reason, it was way hotter when a chick does it. All right, I will say this. What else we got here? Oh yeah, okay. So check this out, right? This is my solution to a lot of political problems and debates about a lot of things that are important, like race, abortion. Women's rights, things like that. I'm coming to the conclusion that this older generation that is stuck on all these things that are not good for society and human life, they just need to die off. I think that's the key, because the younger generation that's up and coming, they're being influenced by us making the right decisions and treating people right? I will tell you, I have not been innocent my entire life when it comes to male privilege in this world, okay? The best thing that probably ever happened to me when I was younger growing up in Tacoma was that I got beaten one-on-one basketball by a girl. That shit was devastating, and I had no idea why. All I know is it was a good thing because it made me realize that women are just as equal as men. So I was playing pickleball at the Y the other day, right? And this new guy comes in and wants to play. So he comes in and plays, and we're going to be teammates. And I'm like, okay, you're new. I'm going to teach you the rules and all this other shit, right? And then there's 2 women that line up across to be our opponents. And he goes, hey, you think we should switch up the teams? I was like, no, why? He goes, you know, to make it fair, you know, woman, man going against each other. I was like, dude, I don't think that really matters in pickleball. Like, seriously. Oh, you don't, okay, we're just gonna keep it this way. I was like, yeah, we're just gonna keep it this way, right? Now here's the thing, right? I always try 100% pickleball. I don't want to lose. But I was totally getting off on this match because the chicks were fucking slamming the ball and he was like, oh shit, you couldn't return that shit, right? He's getting owned by these chicks. And she slams this one and hits him right in the calf and flies off and he's like, oh shit, right? And I'm just sitting here enjoying the fuck out of this, right? Way too much. And I thought to myself, man, it's a good thing when she slammed that pickleball at him, it didn't hit him in the junk, because I probably would have came right here on the court. Like, that's how much I was enjoying that shit. And then we lost the match, and I was like, yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, that switched teeth, you fucking piece of shit. And he was an older generation, late 40s, you know? So I think, really, how can you not pay attention to what's been going on in the world lately? You know? I mean, fucking Billie Jean King, that was in the 70s, wasn't it? And if you don't get it then, and you don't get it fucking now, you just need to fucking die. All right, that got dark, I'm sorry. All right, what else we got? I got new jokes for you guys. I thought a bunch of friends were gonna show up, so I got new material. So I was driving down Bremerton the other day by my neighborhood, right? And I drove down the stop sign, come to a complete stop, of course. And I see this chick sitting on the sidewalk, and this tweaker-looking guy pulls around in this Volkswagen, and he's trying to catcall this chick sitting on the sidewalk. And I thought to myself, this is strange. So I take my time and I pull off. And I notice when I turn around and look again, he flashes a condom at her from inside the car, right? And she just doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything, doesn't move. And I thought to myself, should I go make sure she's okay? And I was like, no, she should probably be okay. And then I realized later, if you flash a condom at somebody on the side of the road and they don't respond, isn't that a win? No? 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 Okay. Because I feel like if I flashed a condom at somebody on the street, they'd probably try to beat me up or yell at me. I don't know. Tell me to go the fuck away. I feel like my special power is that I have such a high sex drive that I can turn anything into a sex joke. Just day-to-day life, right? For example, I went up to this elevator the other day. This other lady comes up at the same time. She pushes the button, door opens. She looks at me and she goes, "Are you coming too?" I was like, "Oh, are you coming?" So, "Oh yeah, I'll come with you." It's immediately that's my first thought. Yeah, I'm coming. I come all the time. I come every time, in fact. And then, for example, I was at the store the other day, and at first I was like, "Okay, Grandma, let's get in the elevator. You want to do this right now? Let's fuck. We'll fuck right here in the elevator. We'll both come at the same time. This will be great." And then I was in Winco the other day, and I had one of those old $10 bills. And before I put it in the machine, I wanted to ask the teller, I said, "Hey, do these old $10 bills work in the machine?" And this old lady looks at me and she goes, "Yeah, just because it's old doesn't mean it's obsolete." I was like, oh shit, this old lady's taking this shit seriously. And my sex drive in my head was like, oh yeah? You wanna fucking prove it? We can go to the bathroom and bang right now, but I'm thinking you can't handle this dick. You can try. You're obsolete as fuck, old lady, get out of here. Let's be honest, guys. Let's talk about the ratio for a minute, okay? You know what I'm talking about? The ratio of a man coming versus a woman coming in a relationship. I'm not proud of my ratio. I'm working on my ratio. You, sir, you guys look like a happy couple. Would you say you're happy with your ratio?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's confident as fuck. Oh, yeah. Would you back that up? You're confident
I can back that up.
Oh, fuck yeah. You go, man. That's a good ratio. You know that shit's at least 80%. Fuck. Because my ratio, man, it started out at 10% when we got together with Mike early, and then I worked it up to 15%, but then it plateaued at 20%, and then it went down to 15%. And I was like, man, my ratio is not that good. I gotta bump up my game, right? So after 13 years of being in a relationship, when the ratio is still down, you gotta try new shit, right? So I want you to remember this, guys. If you ever want to bump up the ratio a little bit, this is what you do. Instead of all those dirty talks and foreplay of the fucking ear and whispering shit, I want to fuck you, I want to do this and that to you, just do this. Be like, I need to do more dishes around here. Just whisper it in their ear. Just get real close and be like, you're so smart. You're always right. Just say that shit, right? Just say that shit. Because my girl started getting way worked up when I started doing that shit. I thought I was just going to joke, right? But she started getting all kinds of horned up. I was like, oh shit, this shit's actually working. She's like, don't stop, don't stop. And that's the thing with me, right? If you tell me don't stop, I immediately come. That's the problem. Because when a woman says don't stop, I get way too excited because that means I'm about to make her come. And I get excited, and it just ruins it. And she's like, why'd you stop? And I'm like, I tried. I came 30 seconds ago. Fuck. I tried to keep going. I couldn't do it. But, so then I started whispering all this shit in her ear, right? And she's getting way worked up. I haven't even touched her yet. I'm just whispering shit like, you're the best. I'm always wrong. And then, the floodgates just fucking opened. I was like, really? That's what did it for you? I'm always wrong. Floodlights just came right there. I didn't even touch her. And I was like, okay, my turn. She goes, fuck you. Now you know how it feels. I'm going to sleep. I was like, yeah, I guess so, man. I guess so. I will say this, though. I used to be married. It wasn't for me, particularly not the marriage, but maybe the person I married was bad. For example, there were some red flags in our marriage. It wasn't going to work out. One of them was when we got together, she said I wasn't allowed to watch porn anymore. Yeah. Women, don't ever do that, because if you do, the first thing the man's going to do is start masturbating to the thought of being single. For real, man. And the thing is that when you masturbate, okay, porn is horrible. Let's just say that. It's a horrible influence on the male mind, okay? So I tried, easing off the porn and whatnot. And here's the thing I realized about porn. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start watching small dick porn. And you know what? I was bored as fuck with that shit. And then I immediately started questioning what it was about porn that I really enjoyed. Like, I just like seeing big dicks, apparently. Fuck, it's weird. But here's the thing, right? She told me to stop watching porn, and I tried it, whatever. I found a loophole, people. Yeah, I found a loophole on this shit. You know what I did? I invented this thing called self-porn. Yeah. That's where I record myself masturbating, and then I masturbate to that. Yeah, self-porn, right? Well, here's the problem. She caught me doing that one day. She busted in. She's like, hey, I told you no more porn. I was like, oh, babe, this isn't porn. That's just me masturbating. And she looks down in the video, and she goes, what? If that's you masturbating, why are you wearing a blonde wig and lipstick? I was like, shit, I gotta spice up the video somehow, babe. Fuck, cut me some slack. And here's the thing, right? Honestly, I think she was lesbian. I honestly believe that. And there were some red flags on that as well. One of the main red flags is when I came home from work early one time and caught her masturbating to an episode of Ellen. Yeah. I was like, yeah, that ain't porn, but you're rubbing one out pretty hard there, so. And then there was a time during sex where I felt like maybe I wasn't pleasing her, so she asked me to stop and use a strap-on instead. Yeah. I was like, and at the time I was just this little bitch, right? So I was like, which one? Black? Okay. And finally, I asked her when we broke up, I said, if you could just do me one favor. She goes, what's that? I said, just fuck one more dude before you go full lesbo. I don't want to be the last one to turn you a fucking lesbian. I don't want to be the last one. And I shouldn't be telling these jokes because I'm not a man that, I don't have any experience with lesbians, okay? I don't. But at work, I came across this conversation where a lesbian got pregnant. And somebody said to me, oh, how does that happen? And my first response, I thought it was a great response, was maybe she was scissoring too hard. But really, what I was thinking was, is it not possible that her girlfriend could have just got cream pied by some dude and they aggressively scissored and she got pregnant? Like, is that hard to believe in Bremerton? I don't think so. HR wasn't happy with me on that one. You know what's cool though is I got a job, right? I've been broke for so long, but I just recently got a job. And it's one of those jobs where I can go home and log in and work from home. That's a new thing to me. I fucking love it. I love it way too much though. Because recently I've been like, oh, I'm gonna log in and smoke a bowl. I'm getting paid to smoke a bowl. You know? But I upped to Annie recently, right? I was like, hey, get over here. Come fuck me right now. She's like, why? I was like, because I just logged in. I want to get paid to have sex with you. So we do it, right? Now, I'm not no mathematician here, but minimum wage is $12 an hour, and I lasted 2.5 minutes, which I think means that I made 34 cents fucking my girlfriend. That's exciting, isn't it? You guys ever get paid to have sex? I don't think so. I did. Fuck, man. I don't know, man. I'm hoping you guys are digging tonight's show. I got some new material. I tried it out. You guys are a great crowd. You two, I don't know how you heard of this show tonight, or if you even knew that there was a show tonight. But thank you very much for showing up. And all the comics that showed up, thank you for sticking around and supporting tonight's show. I'm Joseph Rogers. Let's get Brock back up here, everybody. Thank you very much.